Hello, welcome to the Winners of Sheffield podcast. We're in a beach hut in Dubai. It feels that warm today. Now we're at Sandygate, home of the oldest football ground in the world, and with the main man, the Gaffer, Craig Denton. Craig, thanks for joining us today, mate.
No problem.
Thanks for taking time out of your schedule. Been trying to get this sorted a while, haven't we? And we finally got round to it.
Yeah.
So what we do on the Winners of Sheffield podcast, we just start all the way to the beginning. If you've seen them before, just where you grew up, how you found life growing up, and then go through your journey from there. So the stage is yours.
Yeah. Well, grew up, born and bred in sort of like Westfield, Mosborough area in Sheffield. Went to Westfield Secondary School, and then at the back end of secondary school moved to Woodhouse Mill, and then started a bit of a journey in sports and leisure at Norton College.
Yeah.
And then went to Sheffield Wednesday Community Programme to start my coaching apprentice role.
Right.
And start from there.
Yeah. What did you do at college?
So I did sport and leisure.
Right.
Sports, leisure and coaching, I think the course was at the time.
Right. What year did you go there? Yeah.
So I would have gone, so I'm born in 86, so probably, you're a little bit older than me.
Yeah, I were Tim Wright and all them lectures.
Yeah, so Tim Wright was there, yeah. So Tim Wright, Kev Scott.
Yeah.
I
think Kev Scott's involved here now.
He is, vice chairman.
Is he right?
Yeah, my wife Lucy, my father-in-law, Gary Machin.
Okay, yeah.
He also works at Norton College, which I didn't know at the time, but yeah.
Who else was it? Simone.
Yeah, Simone did, and the guy who played basketball.
Yeah,
Garnet Gale. Yeah. So very much around the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Did you enjoy it there? I proper changed me, that place.
It did, yeah. It was nice to sort of get up in the morning and get involved in education in terms of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very much in secondary school. I know how the main subjects are really important, like your maths and English.
Yeah, definitely.
But I sort of struggled at school really in terms of that. Academically, when I have an opportunity to go and do more of a hands-on sort of college course, and coaching and getting involved, I think I did like pool lifeguard and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I did that.
That was really good, it was enjoyable.
Well, leisure studies when I did it. I wonder if it changed names.
Sport and leisure studies.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I think I did the level 2 and then went in, and then they stopped that course and I ended up doing the sport and leisure.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Maxine Blake, my tutor there. I don't know if she was still there.
My tutor was Paul Casson. Yeah, he passed away a few years after days at college, but
Small
world. Did you always know that you wanted to go into coaching then?
Not at all, no. It was so strange because my area where, in terms of GCSEs, I was very strong at performing arts, drama, quite strong in media studies. And I can remember going to Norton College with my dad to see what sort of courses there was. And literally it was like, do you want to do performing arts or do you want to do like coaching?
Which one's going to sound better to the mates?
Yeah. And sort of looked at the qualifications and what I need to do to get onto the course. And my dad sort of wanted me really to get into like that sports physiotherapy and stuff like that, and sports therapist. And so wanted me to sort of go down that route. But I learned everything really at Sheffield Wednesday Community Programme, ADO, who was Steve Adams, who was no longer with us, quite a big figure at Sheffield Wednesday's Community Programme. I did an apprenticeship there, and that was big learning.
He did Tricky Wingers and all
That's
that.
The one, he left Sheffield Wednesday, Tricky Wingers.
I remember that,
So
I remember that. Well. So when you were starting at Wednesday coaching, I always say to people, and Trav just picked up on it, there's like a switch. We'll always say, this is the way I want to go, this is how I want to do it. What gave you the taste more to go ahead and say, this is where I'm going?
Yeah, so very much involved in doing a lot of coaching in schools, working with a lot of young people.
Yeah.
And then I sort of transitioned to do a lot of sort of like disability work, so working in a lot of special education schools in and around Sheffield.
Yeah.
and then I left there to sort of Sheffield Wednesday to set up my own business with me with a business partner, and then found myself then working back in a school and sort of going down that route.
Okay.
So very much a lot of sports coaching, PE teaching, and just got a bit of a sort of feeling for that sort of like coaching role.
Yeah.
Still worked at Sheffield Wednesday Academy, looking at sort of like working with the under 8s, under 9s. So keeping into like that professional game. I'm just trying to balance to see which way, which route I wanted to go down.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was an evening where I was doing working with the under 13s at Sheffield Wednesday, and that's when Worksop Town from non-league, they used to come on the AstroTurf after us coaching.
Okay.
And
That Middlewood, was it?
yeah, inside the dome, and Mark Shaw, who was the manager at the time, he just said, look, do you want to get involved with a little bit of coaching with in the men's game? And that was just probably being at the right place at the right time.
How old were you then?
I think I was around about 23, something like that, 24.
And how the men's first team worked?
Yeah, just helping him out. Yeah, really basic sort of stuff. Then I went to Chesterfield to do their under 13s team.
I once went to a round 1 cup, FA Cup match at Worksop, and it made me laugh that the away end, like both ends at goal, kind of did a 360. I just kind of never seen it like it.
Yeah, it's a great place. I was there on Saturday managing a Legends game. The delight of having Chris Waddle in the
saw it was the captain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw Waddle in a Legends game, I think it was at Arena or something like that, about 10 years ago. And it was so funny because we were sat, I went with a mate of mine, and he's not really into football anyway, and I'm like a Wednesday night. But we got sat next to a couple of United fans, and I'm not even joking. They were celebrating like if we were a game or sat every goal. It was like, we were just taking Mecca.
He often comes to the games as well.
He managed over 35s or played for over 35.
Yeah. He's still involved with the football club.
Still got it, has he?
Well, he's 64 now. So I just said to him on Saturday, just let me know when you're ready. I'll give him a shout just after 60 minutes, and he said 5 more minutes, and he come off.
Straight on the drink, straight on the refreshments afterwards.
Yes.
So when you're at Wednesday then, obviously we said before you're a Wednesday fan, how was it managing, the line there? Because I guess you got to stay professional while you're also a fan. We spoke to Johnny at the Wednesday community as well, and he was saying when he started, took over your role as we'll come to, but you were a fan, like he struggled, he was that fine being a fan, because it was like Wednesday players walking past him and things.
Yeah.
He was in a bit of awe, then he's like, I'm working at Wednesday. So he's like, how did you draw the line? How did you find that?
I think because I've worked at Sheffield Wednesday over a period of sort of like I was there when I was sort of 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
And then I was never like a massive Sheffield Wednesday fan. I always supported Sheffield Wednesday, and there was a period of time when I had a season ticket, my dad used to take me to the games and stuff. But because I was surrounded by it all the time, like, I worked there was like Brian Laws, Paul Jules, Peter Shreves, loads of different managers and merry-go-round of managers, and then when I returned again, it's the same sort of thing. I think Darren Moore was in charge when I come back for the second time to work within the participation team at the community programme, and I think you just sort of probably maybe understand that etiquette and how you control yourself as a supporter.
I think I struggle, mate. I'm massive at Everton. I think I'll be too invested in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess you train and stuff like that. I think I'd just be like, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, bastards, why did you do the weekend? Do you know what? I think I'd be saying that quite a lot at the moment. But so, how long did you stay at Sheffield Wednesday for then?
So I was there for about 5 years first, and then I returned. I come out of teaching. I was teaching in a special ed school in Wakefield, and with the arrival of my daughter, Olivia, the travelling was getting a little bit too much,
Right, okay.
and working in a challenging environment in a school with effectively like a sort of an alternative provision. So,
Yeah.
you know, coming from here, some really challenging young people.
But yeah.
I just thought I wanted a little bit of a change and an opportunity to go back to the community programme for the second time, which I was there just short of 2 years until
Right.
I moved into my current role.
Right. So how did you end up in like football management role, so to speak? Everyone wants to be a football manager.
Yeah.
Everyone who's involved in football wants to be a football manager, any level. How did you get the ladders to that role?
I think the opportunity in terms of working at Worktop Town and just helping out with the coaching, and then sort of as it progressed, basically at the beginning of my coaching journey, I was listening to balls, bibs and cones, helped out, chuck the cones out, pick them up, maybe take a little bit of a warm up, and then just sort of like drip feed. I was like the first team coach the second year, sort of made it official at Worktop, and then it just continued going there. A friend of mine, Rob, who's my assistant manager now, he got the manager's role at Shirebrook.
Okay.
Said he wanted somebody to be his assistant. I went and gone in there and helped him out. And then Rob got sacked from there. So we I don't mention this one often. And then we got a job at well, it's called Rainworth, but if you're from Rainworth, it's Reneth.
Right, yeah.
And I got in there to apply for the job, and then got that, and then did a really good season with them. Finished 10th in the league, and I played for the Workshop job, and then got that. And it sort of just went really quickly.
Yeah.
And sort of.
How do you? I've always wondered, like at this level, at Northern Counties level, how do you, when you say apply for it, how do you do it? Do you log on?
Well, yeah,
just word of mouth,
usually word of mouth is obviously a big one. But if there's a position available, you'll probably see it on our website. You know, if you're interested in the first team manager's role, please apply within.
Right.
Sort of send an email, send your CV. Obviously, you know, if you're sort of maybe slightly well known as a manager, or you're from the league above, you've probably got a stronger chance to get that job. But it's very much especially Northern Counties, it's a very tight sort of, you know, you do see a merry-go-round of managers and coaches as well.
Yeah. So you ended up here, what time?
So promotion we worked up to step 4. Then
Is that Northern Premier step 4, is it? Or
yeah, the one we've just gone into now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Premier. Yeah.
And then did a season at Barton Town, and that curtailed from COVID.
All right.
So I travelled to Barton, which is like Humber,
Hull. Okay.
Yeah. And then got contacted by the previous chairman to the one we've got now. So we've got Richard Pillinger, who's the chairman of the football club.
Yeah.
Steve Bassford, who was the chairman before, reached out, asked me what I was doing. I've always kept an eye on Hallam and how they are. And then I accepted. I just thought brilliant again with my daughter.
Yeah.
Being so close, you know, literally 15-20 minutes away. It was perfect for me. Yeah, so I sort of dropped from Northern Counties, step 4, back into step 6, because Hallam, when I took over, was Northern Counties Division 1.
Right.
So obviously Division 1 to Northern Counties.
So you had a couple of promotions?
Yeah, we've had 2 promotions a year.
So you've had 2 promotions managing Hallam?
Yeah, from Northern Counties 1.
So you basically took them to the league that you dropped down from?
Yeah. So step 4, which is the highest the football club's ever been.
So when you came in, you must have, how old were you, late 30s?
Yeah.
So when I came and watched here, there was like all types of ages playing for Hallam. It was like people coming to the end, people starting. I've noticed now when I come to the Hallam, there's a lot of young players here now, isn't there?
I think
how do you manage it?
I think that's as you sort of progress up the leagues. I think around your sort of county senior into Northern Counties Division 1, you get a lot of like a mixed ability in terms of you've got a couple of old heads, got a couple of young lads, and you get a bit of a mix. But as you start maybe moving up, especially into Northern Northern Counties Prem, it's very much sort of like young athletic lads.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to try and progress up the leagues, that's the way it just goes.
A lot of them release kids, like
To be honest, there's not many players that I've signed who have been released from the pro game and I've taken them straight away. There's one or two, because when they get released from the professional game, they're not looking to go and sign for a Northern Counties Division 1 or a Northern Counties. They want to still keep within the circle, and their dream alive, and rightly so. So yeah, took a gamble on some players. You know, we've got one who was just left us to move to Scarborough, Rio Allen, who's doing really well.
Yeah.
You know, he came from Donny City, and he lived Donny City in Shirebrook, sort of like step 6, step 5 football.
Yeah.
So we brought him in, and he's absolutely flourished. You know, there's always those hidden gems.
Yeah.
But also in terms of recruitment, we actively go out and pursue a couple of individuals as well who we want.
Is there like I don't know? Is there budgets you have?
Yeah.
Is it, yeah. So
Yeah.
does he come to you and say, I don't know. I'm not. We won't discuss figures, but is it manageable?
Yes. So we'll have. So initially, usually around Northern Counties 1 and Northern Counties Prem, and definitely step 4 and above.
Yeah.
It's very much each manager will know their budget.
Right. Okay.
So it might be right. You've got £600 to spend per week.
Right. Okay.
And then you obviously want to try and put the best possible team. So you go forward and back to players. You'll speak to them maybe in beginning of pre-season.
Yeah.
During the season, you have to put a 7-day approach into a team. So if you want a player who plays in the same league, you'd have to put a 7-day approach in, which then they waive that approach, where you can speak to them, that they don't. So then if they don't waive the approach, you have to wait 7 days until you can approach them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's the 7-day approach in non-league. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't get me started on that one.
That sounds great.
It is.
And is there financial restrictions? Because obviously you've got Beckham and Co. like running a similar league club, I imagine, to you.
I think in terms of step 5, you know, like sort of tier 9 of the football pyramid, it's it's not, no. You know, you can get somebody who comes along and goes, here you go, there's, you know, £10,000, put that in your budget, and if you want to bring the Northern Counties player up and offer him whatever, £500 a week, that you can do that.
All right. Do you have to have certain coaching levels at this level? So that's coaching badges.
Yes and no. It still falls under sort of like the FA charter standard.
Yeah.
So working with the Sheffield and Hampshire County FA. So you have to have, you know, like your first aid and minimum like qualifications and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as you want to progress, then you know you do need to.
It's expensive to do.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it is, but I've seen a reel of some manager, and he were on the cusp of going up into sort of a certain level. I'll not say what level. And he was sort of like proudly saying, "I've never done my badges. They're telling me I'd have to do my badges if I went up, but you know, who's going to tell me? I don't. You may know."
It was
Well, still, isn't it?
No, I think he was talking about. Is it Dorking Wanderers?
I don't know. It is. It's just. He looks a bit of a ruffian, the guy.
Yeah, that's Dorking Wanderers.
Yeah,
You're thinking
about, has he?
Well,
He's got Southampton now.
Yeah, he's got his A licence, and I think is it because they was playing in
France, wasn't it?
France, but there was in the Europa Cup or something like that.
Yeah,
where you would, you have to have a pro licence, or So I'm quite lucky. I've got a really strong qualified like backroom team at Hallam. You know, I've got Rob Potter, who is A licence coach. Andy Emsley, who's a licence coach, and we've got some like our physio is really qualified. So yeah, it's that does help. You know, creating that professional environment and that coaching experience to players, but ultimately like, budgets do make a big impact.
What would you say the biggest challenges you face managing a team like this?
I guess it's sort of like the expectations. A little bit different at Worksop Town. Worksop like a proper football club. You know, it's like a proper town football club. So the expectations of where they've been previously, like sort of Conference North, and if they've dropped down the leagues, their expectation is still the same. They still want to win. Coming to Hallam is a little bit different because it's more of a community, more of a family football club. So the drive on winning games, and if you don't win games, you're going to get the sack. That's not really the sort of it might be now that we've had a couple of promotions, but it's a different.
I was going to ask you that. Do you get pressure from people here, like fans and stuff, if you lose games?
There's always an element of pressure from supporters wanting to win. Very lucky that we've got like a really good fan base in terms of like families, children come and we know that our supporters, they want to come and watch a winning team, but they really buy into the whole family experience and what we offer the community. Right. So it's totally different from sort of
It's funny you say that. We've been to the ice hockey at all.
Yes.
It got sold to us as it's a really family and like in the unit that we were, they were like guys squaring up with each other and I'm like,
what ice hockey?
Honestly, like they were an older fella and he'd obviously said like some younger fella had like wound him up and there were only about 10 seats to come up, but he's like effing and what have you, and we left because I think it was the only game we've ever been to, and it was like I think they were losing 3-1, went down to 4-1, and I was like, come on, let's, because girls had had enough, I've got a 6-year-old and she's like ADHD central, so I was like, come on, let's go. And then we heard next day that they ended up rocking in the same unit. I don't know if it were these same guys, but I just kept, and I was like, oh yeah, it sounds great. Family.
We here.
We don't get that here.
No, we don't. One of our mottos is no swearing, gentlemen, please.
Right. Okay.
And it's a lovely affluent area, but we our chairman and the committee are really focused on people overstepping that mark in terms of like bad language and things like that. I know you can't control that within football, but we're very aware of making sure that it is a family experience.
Yeah.
It's easy to manage though, isn't it? If it's a cultural thing, everybody's on board with it.
I've noticed the crowds have grown here big time, haven't they?
Huge. When I first came in, was and I say that as that's not down to me, but when I first started, it was round about that sort of like 100 mark, 70, 80, 90. I think what did help us is that COVID time. So when everything was shut down, those non-league teams started, when they was opening up and allowing 300 fans in, 500 fans in, and the professional game, they weren't letting any fans in. So I think people just got a bit of a taste for non-league, and they got that buzz where they came and thought, actually, the football might not be as good as a League 2, League 1 Championship team, but how you get looked after and the sort of the feeling of the club, and you can have a pint and a pie and watch the game, which you can't do in a professional game because you can't knock a pint out in South Stand, at Hillsbury. It's just, and I think then you get to go speak to the players after the game. There's a lot more of an attachment in non-league.
I remember the ploughing, we used to be there across, and everyone would they'd get beat here, and then everyone would go across with them to the plough and start drinking. And it'd be great. They got ultras here now as well, haven't they?
Yeah, we have got ultras.
Flares a lot.
Oh, they turned drums. We played Worksop Town in the final. Now they lost 2-1, and you could hear it. We were warming up, and you see this back. All these big drums. I'm thinking, what was that? And he was walking like down Hillsborough Park.
Were they?
So you could hear him coming and get closer, and they got his stand there. They had flares here in Sheffield FC and Stockbridge. They're massively like.
Are Sheffield FC the same league as you now? Or are they gone up again?
No, they've been relegated.
Have they? All right.
And we've basically swapped.
I didn't know
places,
that.
so
right.
They've been relegated from step 4 to step 5, so they've come to Northern Counties Prem.
I didn't know that.
Then, so we've gone up, and unfortunately they've gone down, and there's a lot of our supporters, see Sheffield FC as a bit of a rivalry.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a little bit gutted that they come out of the league. Because, for both clubs, financially and looking forward to, and obviously we always play for the Udan Trophy, the oldest football trophy in the world. Keeping that fixture in there, and exactly like Stockbridge, obviously Stockbridge have gone and got promoted. Yeah, they've gone up to step 3, so we lose.
Dronfield have stayed in the league as well. The Dronfield.
So Dronfield Town, they're in Northern Counties Division 1. Yeah.
They've proper dropped, haven't they? No, John Field,
I think,
they were the team when I was growing up. It's like the stepping stone.
To play for.
Sheffield FC are actually moving back to Sheffield as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
that roundabout, Norton roundabout.
Yeah, literally 2 minutes from our house. It's I think a lot of the residents are sort of concerned about how the infrastructure is and the roads, because it's quite an heavy, a busy place in that area. But what an opportunity to have like an all singing and dancing stadium. And I always think, somebody asked me the question would you want it there? I said absolutely. Like my daughter goes to Greenhill Primary School.
Yeah.
She'll end up going to Meadowhead and having local facilities around sort of rugby and football and that opportunity.
That's it, because it's for the Eagles as well, isn't it?
And the Eagles, people just think, that's just going to be a football club. And it's not. It's going to be a place for the community and people to use. So I hope that does happen.
You were talking about athletic lads at this level. What level are Gainsborough Trinity at?
Gainsborough now are...
Maybe, I'm talking...
Step 3, so the
pre-COVID, like 5 years
they're
ago.
our league above.
Because there was a guy who stood in my gym, and as you do, you end up chatting with him, what have you, and I'm not even joking. He worked for Bradfield Brewery, lugging things, like kegs around, but he was absolutely stacked. Like his physique were like better than most Premier League footballers' physiques. And when I got chatting with him, that's what he did part time.
You definitely can see the step. I mean, like I said, when we played Worksop at Hillsborough in the Sheffield Hampshire County Cup final, you saw they look like league players. Yeah. Their athleticism, like the height and stuff. So yeah.
Anyway, you could tell he was quite handy, and because they played Salford. And the manager at the time, the one who were like, I don't even know who he is, but a gangster, weren't he, or whatever, he went to clip him, because he was like, obviously he was the one that, if there were going to be a ruck, it was going to be him, and because he'd come in one day and he got like a bit of a shiner, and I'm like, what happened? And he was telling me that the manager was trying to get him to rise to a fight, but he stayed away from it. But, going back to that, is that ruining that type of football, the fact that you've got like multi-millionaires pumping money in, trying to get, fast track to Premier League or whatever?
I think it really happens as well, like quite lower down the leagues than people see. If you sort of not...
obviously that's a high profile one, but that's the thing.
It is, but literally it's a sort of the same as well as you drop down the league. My concern to that is when somebody comes along and he's got a bag of money and wants to get somewhere and he's actually not getting anywhere with it, he or she, then just pulls out and sort of leaves the football club in limbo a little bit. With the model what we do at Hallam, hopefully it's self-sufficient, it's sustainable, we have good attendances, and therefore you expect a good budget, and that's great. What I don't like is when somebody comes along and tries bankrolling a football club.
Right. Okay.
That's.
I think that's why we're asking, and to be honest with you, that's for them that's stagnated a little bit, hasn't it? For whatever reason.
Yeah.
I suppose it's
But then it could pay off. Someone like a Wrexham. I know again. Several leagues above.
That is apparently they are like just the revenues because it's a masterclass, isn't it? They've got because they've got that market, the advertisers have come in, and all of a sudden
they're playing non-league and had United Airlines the sponsor. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like I always ask in podcasts as well, and it's a big topic nowadays. Is like you're dealing with a lot of younger players as well. How do you kind of like look after the mental health and the psychological aspect of their like progression? You must deal with it because the youngish lads aren't.
It's really difficult actually because they've still got full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So they are part-time, sort of Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. But also the coaching staff and myself have also got full-time jobs as well and families and so I think for me it's very much of a club issue in terms of everybody connected to the club has to look out for, because there's challenging times, isn't there, where young players who might have been released from an academy and they come and that welfare. We have a player welfare officer. We have a very open sort of changing room But I often check in with individuals, and you can see, because you can see in people's behaviours and demeanour and things like that. But it's a big topic that we have to really support.
Because you think at this level, you think actually a group of lads who are going to turn up and play each other but it's not, is it? Still,
no.
You're still dealing with still pressure.
Of course.
Semi-pro, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, and attendances are rising. Winning trophies, expectations. That comes with a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It really does.
Again, Ian said everybody wants to be a football manager. I'm not sure everyone does, to be fair, because obviously you've got big bucks, haven't you, in the Premier League. They get millions. It's arguably the best job because you get paid off millions of quid when you
get another job day after.
At your level, there's not going to be that big money, is there? So it must be a bit soul destroying at times as well.
Oh, it is, and luckily I've got a very supportive family. My wife, and there's times where I've literally sort of like constantly on the phone, up at the ground, collecting things, dropping things off, and the financial reward is not there. That's every non-league manager wants to climb up the pyramid, and you're juggling work and family. But yeah, the goal is always trying and push it as high as you can and get that.
We talked about that. So you're managing the both because you work at Simoda. Is it
Yes.
Simoda?
Yeah, Simoda, yeah.
So talk us a bit basically about what you do with that role within that company there, Simoda.
Yeah, so it's sort of, I've always been sort of interested in more sort of like sales and commercial. So a lot of the role I did at Sheffield Wednesday's community programme, my second time there, was very much sort of selling the programme to sort of head teachers and schools. So it was, I wouldn't say more like striking up deals, but sort of really looking more about the number, the new business and things like that. So that, and then there was a role at Simoda which I had some friends working there. They was looking at bringing in somebody who sort of an account manager, who could lead on new business, who could sort of attend networking events. And I just fancied it was turning at the time a bit of a change. It was sort of going into IT and technology as a reseller, resale, and it was a total an eye opener for me. Totally different sort of trade, really, in a different vertical. So yeah, I've.
You did well to get in there then, without that knowledge. I'm assuming you didn't have that.
Yeah.
Sort of background.
Simoda were a little bit different. They are very much sort of they'll handpick who they want to work for, who they want in. There's, again, I didn't know the sort of IT reseller NSP sort of environment, but it was all about creating relationships with potential prospects, potential new business, being out there customer facing, and that's sort of what I really enjoyed doing. And
they've got some of the best marketing going, them t-shirts they do.
Yeah.
I've seen it, is it the Mandalorian,
the Star Wars,
It was quite funny actually, because we started doing like some of the episodes at the university, and it's got a podcast suite.
Yeah.
And there's a character in there, isn't there? What's he called? Bradley or something.
Oh no.
I can't remember what he's called.
Jack.
And he's like, he's such a character.
He's watching these, so I love Jack.
Yeah, he'll be watching. But you were very strict. You can't have any drinks on or whatever. And I've got your bottle, the Simoda bottle.
Yeah.
And it was on the thing, weren't it? And you're like, is that part of your marketing? Because it's gonna have to move, kind of thing. And nearly got a free plug on there. That's
So I joined the marketing team this year, and so I do that sort of business development and marketing executive.
Okay.
So I get stuck into sort of the marketing side.
Yeah, I think Northern Soul's been touched on, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've got Northern
Keep the
Soul
faith.
one. Yeah, got logos.
looks a nice office as well. You've got a pool table in there,
pool table, darts board. Yeah.
Outrageous scenes,
Yeah, good culture. That's.
How long have you been there? About 3 years.
No, I'm coming up to about 19 months now.
Right.
Yeah. So.
How do you balance the two? Because you're doing Monday to Friday, take it there,
Yeah.
and then you've got Saturdays and you've got training between all that.
It's tough times as well,
Yeah.
as well at the minute, isn't it, with BD, I imagine. So.
It is.
How's all that come together? What's your coping mechanism?
I don't know the answer to that one.
It's
It's tough. You know, I've got a really well supported company I work for.
Yeah.
So you know, if I need to take a little bit of time to, you know, if I'm travelling to a game and sort of maybe work from home, or you know, they're very flexible around that and supportive, which is really good. And same in Sheffield Wednesday with the exact same. I was very open to what my role is away from full-time work in terms of working at a football club. I was going back. It's a tough balance, and I come up against a lot of stumbling blocks, especially with work, football, family. Wrong way that, isn't it? Family.
That's a good answer.
Work and football.
Yeah.
She'll not be watching, no.
Do you come to a point though where someone says to you, "You're doing too much here," or do you say to yourself, "What am I doing?" or "Am I getting snowed under?"
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've got to really. I'm easily distracted. I think that's what my school report said. Easily distracted.
Yeah.
So I have to be really mindful of, you know, when I'm at work at Simoda, I'm fully concentrated on Simoda. I can sort of think, I need to sign that player. I need to speak to the chairman today, and you know, I might have to cram that in at lunchtime. But yeah, it can be challenging, and because I'm still
as well.
Yeah. But 4 and 3 quarters, as she said yesterday to me. It's just about juggling. And I think as I've been on that journey, and I'm you know, coming to management for 7-8 years, how long it is, you just learn different coping mechanisms. You get a little bit smarter, a bit wiser. You sort of not take the highs too high and the lows too low, and then you find out who you can give a call on a Saturday night and say, struggling here a little bit. You know, it's been tough.
I don't know whether you find it, but it's like at the moment I'm trying to start something with my recruitment business. I've got this, and on certain occasions it'll come around and I think, I could do without this today because I've got work to do or whatever. But on other occasions, come around and you think, give me a bit of that because it's a bit of respite from that over there. I imagine it's that kind of job for you as well.
Definitely. You know, there's always. When I first went into sort of like football management and coaching, really, really enjoyable. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it now, but with moving up the leagues a little bit, there's that little bit more pressure and a little bit different. But I can remember it was this season when we took that, you know, long season, trying to finish as high as we can, and we got Sheffield FC here on that Tuesday night, and then when you come, you've got your floodlights on, and it's packed, and it's buzzing. You think, this is what it's all about, and so then you get that little bit of that, I don't know, that buzz on that one occasion. You think, it's all worth it. This is why I do it for that adrenaline rush, and it's.
And then you're trolling through the pig shit for another 6 months for that moment.
For that moment, yeah.
You do after match interviews here now as well, don't they? I've seen a few.
We've got a really good media team. Ian Jones, who does our media, and he does the kit. He does loads of different stuff.
Yeah.
Kit man. It's all about getting, you know, the word out there.
Yeah.
In terms of on social media, it helps us hugely.
How much is it? Like a ticket or to come and watch it?
It's
reasonably priced.
Last season I think it was like 5 or 6 quid. £5. I think it's gone up to about £8 or £9 now. Again, moving up the league, you know, in terms of budget and, you know, affiliation fees and what we have to do to the ground. We've got to get a new turnstile, we've got to get some more toilets. So again,
is that recommendation?
So we get a season to do that. We need to get a fence on the other side when the cricket have finished their season. Right. So there's commitment in terms of financially, and I think the football club have always sort of put the supporters first. They've never tried to sort of like milk that money. It's all it's all natural.
I'm conscious of the time. What are the targets this season, and what's the main target? How would you say this season?
The main target for me is, you know, get some really good stability, like we have done. Continue that both on and off the field. Obviously, I'm in control of what's on the field. You know, if we can be mid-table and pushing up that more end of the table, that'd be magnificent. Yeah. It really would. It's going to be a learning curve, not just for myself, but for the football club. So we're going to take them hurdles slowly and just making sure that everyone has that experience of enjoying coming up to Hallam and what we've been doing for the last 5 years I've now been here.
And I'll let Trav ask the final question.
Yeah, so now you know about the podcast, who do you think we should, any recommendations as to people you think we should get in front of our conversation with?
I think there's a few. I think we've got Ashley Carson on.
No?
Ashley Carson is the Sheffield Assay office. I know he's been involved with Sheffield Wednesday Football Club and Chesterfield FC. Right. He's one of our sponsors up here as well. I think
if you can link us in with him, and it'd be good to.
Great, all the best for the season.
Thank you very much.
All the best, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.